Sorry for the terms of this Thursday. This is the 22nd October 2015, and I am for about a breakfast. And I love you, Shem, and I'm sorry the terms. I love you, precious. And I love. And I love you, Melech. Okay. At the clear fact of this moment, I am for about the breakfast, if you don't mind. But even though, my goodness, how to say to keep on. Okay, your honors. Okay, Shami, precious. I had been through this last stage in a very situation, and here for words the same sick that generates magazine. I just wear this shirt, and I were sleeping here, and perros degenerados, Sodoma y Gomorra, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, and evangelics on, don't you dare to offend us no more because of this one word, the shirt that we saw at having sex last night. Unfortunate photo, and I supposedly have been with a very black shirt, with a very white shirt, and also with a very that I will have at my backpack and switching out at the streets to being not recognized. To camo. Bedless Esma. Just had a bath. And at the truth of this, sorry. I just naturally had a bath, and what I got on is what I just taken. And slept here with the same conflicts, sorry. As you know, your honors, Melech, Shem, that we're still suffering around, and I'm sorry. You know, this last days were hell, and we are not hell, right, Shem, Melech, your honors? We're not, and we won't. I have been through what you already know, the extortions, whatever day. We cleared the towns. Everything is right now, just okay, and we're proceeded as the way you needed, your honors. But even though everything is still on. All through these days, everything were definitely clear and already known. We could proceed, but even though we have risks and dangers, like you already are aware. Which it meant. I were swearing again. I were post-extortion to swearing. I were anger, and I am feeling terrible still. Are confusing more people which were confused already and damaged, kept on proceeding other erratic ways. And further erratic or not, the clear fact of the problem were exactly what others intentionally kept on making, which already we know who they are and what they do and what for. Clearly this Perros Enfermos keeps on day 2 and they are doing this video supposedly and they are briefing for them government of the US, them International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice, them government of Israel that they says it's them. And Perros Degenerados daring, sorry for, I just got it. Don't you dare to say no word else about us because of this one came on the way we saw it and here you got, and they went to kidnap more people, to rape and murder, and are all involved. Except the list that I gave you, are all involved. And dare to keep on saying that them code, Argentinian patriotic code, them black code, because if I were of the International Anti-Terrorism and War Council of United Nations and Interpol, I had to come to blowjob them. The black code. Perras milicas. Making up more cousin. He offensed us and he declared in front of the world, so here to go to jail. So it is. La perra banana de Sodoma. And the rest are all the same. Everyone. So, forgive me for this. I'm sorry, so early, the virginal French. Long ago, I don't express this, and I don't stop first. Perras. How to define this? Miarita ambarum. Terosula. Yeah. Okay, sorry for this. To the truth, while keeps on making the generations and on, I have been right at the side of the dare to keep on rubbing to me, like you are aware, you asked me yesterday, and I shall send you some more, if I will receive anything, and no, I didn't, not even mails. And the general starts to think that it's because of the damages have done and it cost them that they has rights to take, and the President Cristina Kirchner and President Nestor Kirchner gave them. And evangelics, the same ones, the enemy, the grand horde that are causing this all, still dares to keep on saying that they didn't allow me to be, that they didn't allow me the voice, that they didn't allow me the capacity, they didn't allow me to talking and to having nothing of the God himself, and that I will be addicted to the antibiotics. Do you recognize this? We agreed, right? With Melech for the reason of everything else were happening, and I were infected and contagion, suffering on cryptodistosporidium, which is called at the scientificism now for the reason of changing the morphology a little bit, for the reason of bio-DMC synthesis that they wanted to put in, which is not cryptosporidium as known, but it's a mutagenic site, and it's exactly that. I have been in a very elevated doses further what is used to, usually. Alright? And I just accomplished yesterday with the third day. Now, you know what? I were feeling weird. I were feeling with a very state which were not normal, but nothing like. It's difficult this fruit to have it except to be in. It's not recurrent this fruit to have such a very contamination and charge, biologic charge. But lesech matlechi vin kheva fes patlikin ravefech machabi on pleves gech matlim biaves matleki ravefech matsivos vesem. The same as EDXC, protein called DMI on the peeling that this fruit has, is on the klervefech matzech divisop levismat lakin ravechamatzim. Not bacteria, not viruses, and less parasites, except the BLANCO, which difficulty to go through, cannot tolerate it and dies. So any bacteria may be at the right out, naturally, not for flora, like normally happens so much times, but for the ambient charge, naturally, right? Okay, this is found that the water is contaction terribly with fluids, even saliva, sweat, and naturally urines and what is fecals. There were contamination caused by this in the urban nets in the whole of the region to contaminating people, understanding that this hydrating, which this causes, and the pseudo-idonitodoses, sorry for this, which will be pseudonitodinoterosis, actually, at the first for the cause of bilamer kai norman, and at the last for the reason of what medicinally or medically to be descriptable at the normal to use. So suddenly the massive destruction of what it is, the synthesis and this nourish and this hydrating gradually and having a host state until this eclosions and makes the disaster is the clear fact of producing and promoting a state of reducing, and the people gets disnourished and on the drained state and some extra. But the eclosion doesn't deliver into death, but produces a state of damages which is severely terrible. Not neurally, but yes, in the whole as emplacement for the digestive tract and tissues as motor. I mean, muscles, reducing the mass, reducing the DME, DMC, absorption dismal, absorption camber, and the whole of condition 4. Inflammatory processes and the vents become, which delivers at the glechnichavismocinim, right? Okay, further this, and all through the glechnichavismocinim, with 7 days, this, one each is eliminatable, and like I done as well, I already am 3, but to repeating at the 14 to 20 days. For in case of the cocoon plasman achnitenam that remains around until eclosions and reproduces the synthesis again. Alright, Gremaplech masechish matlekimasam. Called pupa. It's like a state of latency where shields, and once the whole of the processes synthesis starts to receiving PBMCD, the same shield produces the filter and bedlesechmatzim eclosions and starts to all over again. It's easy to eliminate that synthesis and that cocoon as well, but not with this. Alright. You can use mandlesim, you can use tibamin and etorisonoda, but lesimasim, which is the wrong word, that Eldin were talking for and said is not the right terminology for this drug, and understanding why you said, which is okay. At the right synthesis will be that, but will be erythrodysnodisona. That will be the right terminology as medicine for the application on DPM, Gilben, Disman, Divim. That destroys this cocoon and this synthesis of reproducing and reactivating. Alright. Remas pachlikimas and seomasim. And it's referred, you and Kerman were wondering, it doesn't refer about delotenotisometasona or beta-nedlasanidonadona, sorry for this, which is exactly this, and neither with mibobetalasmatesona, which are the most dilostrenesis, blechmisoctekin derivated from. We're talking about, oh my god, yeah. I just spoken to you in a very bottom of the biosynthesis, and suddenly I don't remember the Batlesin, Hovaspasi, steroids, BMF, cortisonas, Gevachmatsanim, and relaxed steroids. My god. Okay. Yes, the family. The right range of, including what synergically bio-DMC metabolically is exactly the same class. Alright. You know, Gavachmat leukemia and then in the middle of this all, and pardon for the terms, just were around and went through the same conditions and problems all over. I wanted to leave, I needed to get out. I needed to get out and I needed still to leave, and you know, they produces more damages and more degenerations all over. Keeps on making up cases, telling perros degenerados, Policía Federal Argentina, Prefectura Naval Argentina, supposed expertises in Gendarmería Nacional, that I were smoking pot yesterday and chancized and groping dudes all over that I found them that were such a boner, and I were so nymph desperated, bleeding and asking more, keep me more, which is the fantasy of them, for them a perfect sacrificial of a perro degenerado sodomitas. And what they pretend are people to do in the recent way of what they don't do while being raped massively on and on. They hit them, and evangelics degenerados saying, don't you hit them, we make the spell for them to behave like you want. Because of our witches, and I'm sorry for the victims. So suddenly, in the middle of this reality between true and other class of circumstances, I went yesterday and we had a very special moment where a lot of people were threatened and others kidnapped that we could take in. And the problems we had, and I'm sorry for the bothers about transporting people that supposedly will be fugitives of this perro de cuarta and the black coat of the magic trouser, enfermedad degenerada sodomita, Kirchner & Co., and them Sodom y Gomorra, queridos de Fuerzas Emblema Nacional, Remo plechma sechi fachma tlechli sochtika and blechma sibamam, with the pardon of victims. Shlekin revefech matzia blevefech cholak ben zwei matim. And while kept on Magnesimo, Shem, Melech, Mr. President, kept the same old situation and circumstantial about my person, so I had a moment. I have been sharing something which was beautiful yesterday, even at the distance, at the other side of the world. There were a precious music. And I love you, Melech, and I love you, Shem. And you both composed it. Right there, far away from this land, and protected. And I just giving you my side of the story, which actually were already something of the idea of composing. And I enjoyed it so much, and I love you. I love you ever. With this soul and with the situations and what came on all around, and sharing with friends, with brothers, with sisters, that Adonai loves them so much and embraced them ever. And with the same of the situations that with these problems and these situations on the swearing pushed, forced, extortions, and that I supposedly will come to any place that will ever imply prostitution, trespassism, Batlismi kamachlechim. Badly misas mavam. I went around just walking like you know and suffering certain things and were permanently all around the same in Gendarmeria Nacional, in the houses of all our people, in Belgrano neighborhood, in Barrio Norte, in Recoleta, and every place is raping families, and also Sida with we are researching for the terrorists in case of Amia. We are going to give them back what they just accused and damaged the government, and we are going to find out and making the staging on the nothing on that happened is hilarious, but background are making the whole the generations and staging the sons of hell of always known and the victims used like perros degenerados Kirchners from Mamika. Víbora degenerada, retorcida, repodrida, were permanently like and Lerado were evidential enough with not only material but testimony of 4 million that were used and delivered to being murdered, saying already they knows and we are not gonna let go this, we cannot use them no more because of they are gonna notice everybody, we cannot put in screens no more, we got to put them dead, which naturally and permanently does and are. So suddenly, in the middle of this reality, and begging for help to Adonai, and tired to dealing with the situations, 14 years, and citing me and hosting about me for I do not can move, and permanently the same, and instigating for receiving more damages for perros de cuarta degenerados Sodom y Gomorrah to being benefited on the more damaging me, and I can reach less, and perros degenerados evangelistas delirantes of them, making the same old compound and every day I'm gonna have the power, and I'm gonna defeat I don't know what class of a hell they are, because of far putting themselves with damnation for more in the goddamn hell forever, and there I'm not gonna run from it. And then I said, no. And victims, I'm taking rest, hell. So suddenly, further this, between the supposed addiction of the pod, of the supposed cocaine, on the supposed I will and groping desperately, keep me more and bleeding, and like a very hyper sado nymph, the phallus of maricas reventadas, sorry the word, needs to be the perfect sacrificial that they says I would, while making the profanation of saplivesneni useful for F word, rape, to our people, and the supposed antibiotics addiction. Because if you understand, it's a very cycle state, it's a mindless state. Because of the reason of that is that he goes compulsory all around having sex desperately and he cannot stop. And after he ends, he needs the nightly camarades even come to cleaning. And right that desperation goes to buy antibiotics and doesn't stop because it feels dirty. And that is something that nobody can control. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This is not from now. We know what we were doing, and we know what we were suffering. Bedlesech matlech viamaseo plebesveticha viso plebesmetachim imba elot libivim. Bedlesich matlek chavafet smodleves inse shabam is matemale. And while and through is the reality of these situations that we go about. And belefesmot levesmet lechamat levismat levisin shabam. Bedlikia rebefech matzil simisim. And sef lekima rebefech lekima sebet leveses salivam. Imboak lechamat lech minsa et lesiki shiret. Ban rebefim. And leave us motlen kremach lechman. Oh, this will be instigatively for insemination. I want to see. Yes. Chill alcohol, this infection with some emulsion. The one I used, I didn't want because they said the word for the raping kids. Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, si vos no haces eso, Policía Federal, Ejército Argentino, hace cosas peores. Andás mutilando gente, reventando gente porque decís que no me permitís lo que normalmente cualquier persona haría. Perrazo degenerado. Sorry for this. Alright. Betsema. Then, as true. To the clear. Bet lesma haliki visopin mag in le komagri visafe o plevismat le kisvasim. Zafe blekar maseh halimim. And during and in the meantime, and while this all, naturally, we came on working for justice parties about holding lives and companies, and especially what it were, Jewish communities and whoever to have a virtue. And all through this, the problem with Rankin, Stalker and Rannan Company, Stalker and Rankin. Crews were accused to robbing properties to the state of Argentina, to the companies of Argentina that are all Kirchners and related to Ejército Argentino and Policía Federal Argentina. The whole. And United Evangelics saying that the whole of the advertisement I were working with, using my laptop, destroyed steel, and also destroyed my devices and using Android for the making casting. Because of keeps on robbing me and I cannot get out of here, and I'm placed, I can do something for wording this, and while damaging my resources and my software saying that I rob, like the supposed software I will rob in cybers, that freeware to downloading, and I wanted to keep the installer DMC execution command for the software that I have at my laptop stupidly. And in the middle of this all, I will rob them, and I will rob to Policía Federal Argentina. Don't you see? Doesn't work, and it's our account. And I'm gonna tell you this. And kept on making the same degeneration so long, and with this of the companies. And saying that Chris Rankin should ever pay to this perros degenerados and Mr. President Rivlin for about $889 million for supposedly we robbed them. And Terzo saying here that I will be insane and needed of medications for the things I dare to say and do. And offensing the Ejército Argentino, my God. Maricas de mierda, degenerados atrofiados, perros. Every day a witchcraft, every day a rape, and every day a destruction, saying that they are gonna defeat the enemy, and when says the enemy sees me and saying that they are gonna be me. Bananas de Lucifer, perras del infierno que se piensan que tienen una fruta y no la carne podrida que son. Maricas infernales. Decir que te ofendo y te pongo en el infierno hoy, perrazo. Sorry for this. So in the middle of the reality this, while rapes families, completes kids and dogs, and lives for a lifetime making witchcraft and saying for the patriot, pedazo de maricas, and saying, todavía no lo detuvieron, todavía no lo secuestraron, con toda perra degenerada cabeza de Fuerzas Armadas, which are the same, por todos lados, everywhere, and Kirchner's the same. And Rema plechma hali visopniki rabefechala kamba plechma sivan. And let us batanim and while making the business. The photos! Oh my God, the poetry! He wrote me the songs last night! And Tribunales Argentina, with the pardon of the list that you got, which are threatened and staged, keeps on making the same degeneración enferma. Shape and background. Shape, it's all okay, don't you see we don't do? And una maldita prostituta reventada y una segunda prostituta reventada put it in place after execution. 88 civil and the 7th defensory. This person must be permanently medicated in internation because of can not do any other. Don't you see what expertise shows it does? Betle sencha ma blech ma chalivisot levis senchavam am blevis aplevis sisherev. And for the real and for the clear, rima blech ma rimia tzika vechelvesot levis matim. And everyone kept on making saying. The truth and that you want to know and you want I to expose in front of the world. I sent you about Ana Maya. Is firm over Veraz, regulator, República Argentina, for a moratoria about the unpaid. So the clear of this, and for as fact, this were happening, kept on making up and trying to arrange, like normally, these perros degenerados y Argentina de mierda, soy amigo de la presidenta, about that you see here, which I sent you, and if you want a couple of pictures, definitely for more, I send them up to you. Which Granny, Elvira Ballester, that supposedly wouldn't be mine, but for the perras degeneradas Gomorra, Policía Federal Argentina, and Gendarmería Nacional, that they will ever come every day to Hogar Dorrego, and not me, and this will be a deliverance to show the conspiring against the government, and I will be a teller with the crime against the government for terrorism, spiritual terrorism, guys. Making up another story saying that I will be in jail because of I offense the president in front of the Argentina and the worldwide. And using non-cute terms because of the respect. Terras, perras infernales. And this Ana Maya with Telefónica of Argentina accusing me of calumny and damages and prejudice. Saying that you, with the supposed robbed narcos and traffic money and money from rape and murder, which is the reimbursement that this maldita degenerada tierra just have done for the less humanity are permanently causing up on my life. I will ever have to pay them for about $8,400 million for the damages of my God and to the armed forces and the evangelics in the house in Argentina. And in the middle of this all, while it keeps on destroying people all around, this will imply that my acknowledge for the Argentinian Kirchner law that I will ever have to pay 8,000 parts and the one this for the reason of I were aware and I didn't accomplish for the commitment about being responsible of the related. And I told you about this, like have done to 74 million persons all around this region. Telefónica of Argentina and Movistar have made them fraud. And especially about this, which were 16,504,204 retired, jubilados, women and men, with no much to say, with a very studied, delicately, specific element for, soy amigo de la presidenta, habla con los jueces y lo arreglamos todo, no pasa nada. Have caused they commercializes, not the company itself, which is Telefónica of Argentinian Group, páginas amarillas, páginas doradas, is of Telecom, which this company, Corporation of Telefónica of Argentina, delivered by the same hiring services of domiciliarios, mean address service line, phone line, to the directories. And they came aware about Hogar Dorrego were no commerce. And there were a rent rented apartment by a retired woman, commercial directories that she had paid. And I sent them, like I sent you, a document letter, right, legal here in Buenos Aires, and they themselves from La Fuente 20, Buenos Aires, commercial for customers, clients, attention, which they don't deliver attention face to face, but they use as a phone in the place back on the, what it is, the entrance and the lobby for people attention to the commercial side over certain requestment of services, payments, and to see the product. They don't attend the people, the clients, at face-to-face to deliver a complaint and giving documents in the hand to saying she made the disclaiming or whatever it is to be for whatever, or complaint or whatever the requestment, petition, anything, submitting. Never happens. And in the middle of this all, this number of retired, like to Granny, have made them pay, and they sent me a letter saying that I were not the titler. It were the term. It were not my service at my name, at my charge, that I were not the titled for the responsible in character of. That she had to come herself, and whenever I said to Granny, they don't give attention face to face, and what the heck, calling 112 dialing number in Buenos Aires, and they don't give no shit of a help at all. Oh, because of you got to send this and you got to enter pay, and after that nothing. They don't give back. They never reimbursed. And they makes the hiring for the services and the directory for these services, which is particular, called familiar, especially retired, is for free. Are 2 books, which we called guías, directories. And they made them her signating, which she were alone, but the same one that installed the service in the apartment of Bacacay Street, 2051, apartment B, Hogar Dorrego, Buenos Aires, Mercedes Dorrego. This whereabout that I wanted to do, were about 8 pesos in one. It had the casement yesterday. Captain Son of a Snake. Ana Maya, Sociedad Anónima, 0800-866-0949, entered to saying that I were accomplice for inciting to her to not pay and to make fraud against Telefónica of Argentina after Telefónica of Argentina, Domingo Cavallo, Carlos Saúl Menem, and Banco Ciudad de la Ciudad de Buenos Aires made them the robbery of the stocks class C of the private participation program with the old entail, which I were employed in. And Guillermo Arcebrain didn't pay me nothing, which is that the bastard son of a snake, perro hijo de perra, but the brother of them, which were accused of the same and responsible for the same, didn't pay a thing. And tribunales of Argentina, we have an Argentinian law and we know this person is a criminal and he is stolen to us, so we don't have to pay nothing. There's to keep on the same, and Cristina Kirchner, mentirosa víbora degenerada, which is not, and the whole Kirchners, degenerados, criminales, psicópatas, malevos, matones, reventados, genocidas, judicidas, mentirosos, degenerados, keeps on covering and making the trade, and saying, we're extortion, we're trading, perros de cuarta, with the pardon of so few. And then pay me the $4,342 to $48 reelection 1-to-1 during the Generación Menem, that they manipulatedly and other affairs with extortion stolen to me, with the whole of the closet. And they turn to saying I want. And turn to saying that they are on the fraud, and I will be a demon, and I will be lying, and I will be the whole that they liars with them, Sodom and Gomorrah, while crops trousers. And turn to saying that I am the guilty for that, and also God. El Jari. And keeps on delivering people of us to being raped and murdered and saying that they has rights. to receiving the payment for the damages that Kirchner's promised them. And sí, la presidenta nos dio la plata porque le va a sacar todo y le va a sacar todo y nos van a dar todo lo que nos merecemos. And Gibson making the same. And I will be a liar. And the Jewish shall be paying to them. Give me the money for the ones that are being sustained by the same state of Israel. For it doesn't let them work, it doesn't let them have nothing, and I need they to leave, and you understand the problem. And that, as Kelby shows you, is what happens still now. All through this, the whole of the companies implies telling that Argentina is the full of the whole of the companies of the world, possession, owners, and the only ones, and government of US, Israel, United States of America, justice bodies, states bodies, International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice, with the whole of the region UNASUR, saying that they are, and I am not going to get away with that, with them United Evangelics. And Gibson making the same old Kirchner's communities, the same freak the generations, and keeps on destroying my life, and every day a witchcraft, and every day a rape, and every day a kidnap, and every day an invention of cause, and every day a forgery, and every day a lie, and every day a make them believe, make them talk, everything is okay while we work. And they thought that we showed the conspiring back teller and background, the background, and the background of the background, the whole of the backgrounds, and the whole pure shit Argentina that you already know. Okay, Reves Motlachimi Hametzim, this supposedly will ever have to pay to Telefónica of Argentina $85 million for the supposed damages, but I wouldn't see no documents and I wouldn't signate nothing, and they will come in front of you with, he did and he denies because he's a psychopath, don't you see? Like with the rest all. Maricas reventados, Policía Federal Argentina, and the rest consider of expertises. Y parras. And so are the words. And about this. Oh, there's nothing happened. He's a tenement one. Don't you see? Nothing happened. He didn't have to say. It's $28 million I should pay them, it said. You tell me what to do. In front of you. International Criminal Court, Liaison Office, New York. Now, I sold this and I restolen them. Also this, sold this and I restolen them. And I were chancalized. Sold this and I restolen them. Also the computer. And also the cell phone I'm using. After the restoring with the ABG, okay, Your Honors, I don't have no problem with you except trying you to be okay, and I'm sorry for this. Neither with you, Shem, and I love you ever. Neither with you, Mr. Blessings, neither with you. God, I love you. I love you, and I'm not going to stop today. And I'm serious. And neither with you, Justice Parties, I love you all, and I know we are suffering too much, and I'm so sorry. We were moving situations, we are with problems. Gagna is okay, the Santana and Lomel, they are fine. Shells has more than elements to show and to clearing, and everything is clear about the soul. I keep isolated, cited, and everywhere and every time is a case for making the marica reventada teller chap, Policía Federal Argentina especially, and cussing like you are, knowing that this last stage put at me in a very state that I will ever put in this goddamn land completely in ashes, and finally over. So suddenly, at the clear of this, in Klechem Aplechvika, Ravefech Lachivisop Levismatim, and while enduring I shall ever be flowsly. Is that holy? That is the respectuous high that you get? Bedlesech Maklechmian Haveswot Levisin Shalem. I'm sorry. I will be the snake, the twisted, goddamn son of a B-word snake. Thus, the rottenest ever twisted abominables, mother criminal hell shits, twisted goddamn sons of snakes, sorry. And I will be delivering now. And, ¿y de qué trabaja? ¿Y qué es lo que hace? Supuestos psicodiagnosis de Sodoma y Gomorra, con el perdón de 30 que están siendo amenazados. That is not what happens, small them. And what happens is what Kelser is going to show you. Now, sorry for this. Gema plech masech libiso klim, bachremach libiso eplekar rave fech matzeos eshavim. My supposed fraud, lie, manipulation, and I will produce and provoke this soul. Now, Germa plech mach libiso klikacha, ablevisvot levesmika ribiso shlivia maplevispaktika, gerchamak le ribidosil livisot levismat tadishva plekimavim. And Remaklechma Chavisovim, and we're kidnapping people and messianics. And whenever I say messianics, are the ones that believes Gives vechlish vetzecha chayda emet simianian, who the real understanding Yeshua has said is Meshiachcha elachachai. Telling evangelistas dijeron que son todos diablos y que ese no es el Señor, los podemos sorry the word, and there's to keep on saying about the terms in Hebrew, that will be my specialty, piensa así y piensa de esa manera, y nosotros lo sabemos. Then, at the clear of this, and during this all, I also changed or restored something about the system, like you know, and also saying that I were robbing to them, that were not the same, and they had the systems supposedly, and I disconnected, just fixed that with the ABG tune-up. So, trying to put in some orders, but doesn't respond as an actual need actualizations, and they are going to put any crap and the generations like naturally normally are putting. And from there on, I don't have access to my CD, which comes with CD and for CD. I didn't have the recognition of CD, and I already have 84 million the generations more, and I'm not sure what am I going to do, because if I start and restart to make the same, I don't know what will happen. And if I try to reinstalling, which my disk surely is destroyed because of what they dared to doing, and they done. The software I bought, the system I bought, I'm not sure that I'm going to get installed. And seriously, not sure that I'm going to get installed. Further this, with this problem which persists in saying that I keep on robbing software, and I am a felonier, that I adulterate the system to also everything I just done and do were for the damaging to the government of the Argentina, for robbing to the government of the Argentina with the supposed manipulation and technicism producing and manipulating flaws all around, for a complete system and government and the whole of the country, the whole of the world to manipulate for they to give me money over my supposed making up and staging and forging and manipulating. And I will be a demon, neither of medication. And and I'm gonna make them be dead. Maricas viciadas reventadas y perras del infierno. While keeps on making witchcraft in the generation, saying that he has rights for the patriot. So, while and through the soul, the other degenerados rises against my nation and opportunistically give me a coin. I do, and I say whatever you need. Well, keeps on destroying our lives. All through companies are with problems, and sochlekim matlevis matim. Dechlikim telling that the company's Audacity software and free make company software are dams like the rest all I use, even Microsoft, they're the same, and Avast, and also, how's this, ABT, and Norton, McAfee, and the whole of the companies and whatever I use, even Samsung, will be dams. And they didn't allow me to have, so everything I have will be robbed. Like to our people, for they to having the excuse to, you have robbed products we didn't allow you to have, to kidnap and kill and having whatever they want. I'm sorry the word, but it's exactly every day, and I want to kill them. I want to exterminate the goddamn Argentinian fever until the goddamn stones. Not even a goddamn, just got started a backlog. Not even a break. An evangelista diablo reventado of Kirchner's associated to Sodom y Gomorrah, supporting it all. And there's to keep on. El Señor te dio y vos tenés derecho a tener su vida y cualquier problema lo arreglas solamente con el Señor. Al diablo en persona, diablos de cuarta. Remo plech machali visofedim. En lechimach batlikim. En revefech machali visofliviv. And the people that wanted to help me, 5 were murdered. The bodies are with Danny Cull, with them documents and them families. And the rest are all safe, with all they wanted to give in me. For the reason of where studied, if I will ever approach, they already will be dead. And with everything that they has, and whoever and whatever, to being raped and murdered as families they got. Is every day, they never stopped, they never ends, to making that the generations that evangelistas hijos de perra de Lucifer, with the pardon of victims, were permanently causing and doing, and also the bodies of Bifal, that already justice were done. Robbing and making any class about the generation and saying that they don't allow me. Diablos de mierda. Y diablos muertos. Perdona, Donay, los términos. Reboflech machalivisotzenim keeps on murdering people all around and keeps on making the same on everyone. Las perras de la Gendarmería Nacional, las perras ejército argentino, raping people all over inside them homes, saying that has rights inside family homes, and putting death in the way of whoever just says, stop it, milico de mierda, marica hijo de... And sorry the words, which is what they are. Remains 5,708,504 milicos de mierda with reserve and everything. And the whole list is with Colwell. And the whole of the region you already got. And the rest, everyone, but the list with Nikki. The whole. All involved. All as the same. All for the same. And the recruited perras nuevas, sorry the words. You got it all with Neely, and are all the same class. I have more than tiredness, fatigue, laughing, and the condition of adnerov. I have much farther than that, and I want to put the goddamn land in ashes there. Are not gonna stop. And this fever of perras infernales, I want to end them for the will of the whole of us. Remoplech masechelim bablefefecha chelivisotica and blekima revefime. Enter to sing again. Las mejores C-word, perrazo degenerado sodomita, are in the Policía Federal Argentina and some at Prefectura. To rape and murder our people and our families, and keeps on abducting and destroying people with perrazos degenerados tal quelo and Evangelistas Unidos. And there's to saying that I'm sending people for being raped, while are destroying them. Remoplefech machalivisech likishvat lechachalivikoma blevesam. Imbotlech machaligishvat leveseshviat maklechvivim. Betlesechma. Burnham received the 87 guys, which were for the delightfully sacrificial of Marica Sodomitas Argentina, saying that they deserves the adoring of the trouser. But for 2-1 come, right in time. We got them. Oh. Remoplech masechali visoklikar vachal visima plevesim. Please ask it right away. And like the Kama Rebefech Lacham, they are right in your arms and needing help, absolutely. Garrebefech Lacham ablech visot levisish, amblech makar rebesechilivim, linkai kolikivi karrachelech mad levisis vot levisashem. And everything is on. Keeps on reinventing, redesigning, reforging, and Pero nosotros estamos investigando y todo es cierto, inclusive lo de la AMIA, fue el terrorista de la AMIA y lo hizo, le vamos a mostrar al Estado de Israel que tienen que hacer lo que nosotros les decimos y rendirse. Nosotros vamos a tomar el Estado porque son todos en un estado psicopático y están poniendo en riesgo toda una nación. And like this, the rest all like you know. But lesen revifech matzech liviso shevet, am blevesat levech matzech limiva blevesafam. Batles metachim. Por favor, salid acá. Betlesim, sorry for this. And lech matlech machali visot levise shavab. Rembak lechama blerivisech ishvat levesechma. Kevach lechamaser. But les mikar vachalivisop levis inkiska le kamacham am blevespek tachal chamak likive an seshma ab levespechla an revesivav slekishma tachamalim an lekil kalekovet simaplech machavilot biatzevav en cheltu an netzmav en rechla kara vefach matzelam Via bleves bita kalchivikach ma an revese bleves in bleves oshlika revefech machal vesot levis inses lekish kavablech matzimav. And nothing will ever happen, and everything will be just a delusional fantasy of a psychopath that has the fantasy of the needing that which says to everybody will do to him on the setup and the lying and forging to happen because of he will ever want it. And that will prove that I will be a fag. And that I will ever want the biggest ever sizes for a trouser of marica reventada uniformada Argentina. Which is not exactly the people I love and the people as innocent. It never happened this way. So, klerma plechma chalivisoklikan revefechlechama plechmi savimir inkel voktika jalechumba blekatiba plefespachachim. Cuerpo médico forense, los psicópatas más reventada mierda, psicópatas, engendros reventados arrastrados de la maldita fiebre del infierno, perros criminales abominados, with the pardon of five. Y parrada de mierda tribunales, manga de degenerados criminales pedófilos, abominados reventadas prostitutas, couple of coins or bills in the bra, and I give you my services and everything you need. But at the pejorative way of a very lucky mati barrafta, not an abducted sabiat matim, or abducted, denigrated, destroyed woman, delivered for the need of the marica sodomitas, saying that they will determine and decide, said, in front of flies and office, what to be with anybody's lives. So they will decide what anybody's lives to be around, or who will be whom, and what will be what. And still tears. Germa bleft ma serre visive shopvechla. Mavlika rabafechla hamablevisa plivisotika Vietnam. Whereas Argentina is just like the same rest all, and our